I'm Marine. TORiDOri チャンネルへようこそ。今日のトピックはドーン魔法少女マドカマギカです。So today's topic is going to be Mado Magi. Many of you may know this anime already because it has become so popular since its release in 2011. When the show first started, writer Gen Urobuchi and director Akiyuki Shimbo made various comments on Mado Magi, hoping to mislead the audience into believing that the show would be a typical Mahou Shoujo story. And I'm sure many viewers thought that, till episode 3 came along. I want to try to keep out as many spoilers as possible, but those of you who've watched it know what I'm talking about. It was such a shocker at the time that the term mamirareru was created afterwards amongst the fans. I probably watched it that summer after it came out, so I knew that something was happening in episode 3, but I didn't know that was coming along. Anyways, the staff of Mado Magi was a crucial factor in understanding why the anime has become so popular in Japan and why it's such a phenomenon. So, I want to talk about the animation company Shaft. Shaft was founded in 1975, and they're known mainly for its unique animations. So let's take a look at some of Shaft's works. Shaft is famous for these animations, and if you've seen any of these, you know what I mean. Especially the Monogatari series, which is probably the second most popular Shaft animation next to Madoka. If you don't, just keep in mind that if you see any of these shots, it's probably Shaft. The director of Mado Magi is Akiyuki Shimbo, who's also directed all of these. He's known for his unique movement for characters and his unique choice of colors for his animations. The writer for Mado Magi is Gen Urobuchi. He was actually born in a family of writers. Not anime writers, but like writers. Anyways, and before Mado Magi, he used to write for games. He's also now the writer of Psychopath, which is having its second season pretty soon. Now, of course, they're important, but there's two more factors in Mado Magi that makes it so special and that makes it so wide known. One factor is Gekidan Inukare. The Witch Worlds, which is created by Gekidan Inukari, a duo, are phenomenal. One of them used to be an animator for the ultra-famous anime studio, Gainax Studios. Think Evangelion in full equity. That's Gainax. Another thing that makes the Mado Magi world unique is its music. The music is done by Yuki Kajiura, and she's done the music for Gundam Seed, the Dot Hack animation, and Tsubasa. I didn't really know her at first, but I looked her up for Madoka. There's a lot of classical music reference in Madoka because there's a violinist in one of the characters. Well, kind of. But the classical music references kind of add on to the whole inukuri, kawaii, creepy-ish world that Madoka has created. Okay, so now that you know a little more about the background information of Madoka, here's what I thought of each of the episodes. See, this anime is literally a roller coaster ride. I'm not gonna lie, episode 1 and 2 didn't catch me really until the inukuri visuals came in. I also thought the opening song sung by Claris was not that great. But then episode 3 rolls along and you're not even really sure what to think. And honestly, I think they did a great job at misleading the audience. Episode 4 was that kind of episode where you're almost scared to watch it because you're not sure if the last episode was just a one-time twist thing or, you know. There's a fight scene in episode 5 that's pretty awesome, but from there it just keeps kind of going downhill in terms of happiness for the viewers. And one thing that I can spoil is that there is never an end to the twists and surprises with this anime. Now, after the airing of episode 11, something very tragic happened in Japan. As I mentioned before, Madoka started airing in January of 2011, which means that the last episode was supposed to air near the 3/11 earthquake. Now, obviously, it wasn't a time for anime airing. So, even though a lot of fans were really excited about the next episode, the airing only happened on April 21st, which is over a month after when it was supposed to air. Now, people were so excited that they actually had a 1 full-page ad on Yomiuri Shimbun, which is very rare for animes. What I think really makes Madomagi so special is their whole take on the idea of mahou shoujos. There's a lot of mahou shoujo anime and manga in Japan, but most of them are meant for children to watch. Some make it so great that, even when adults watch it, it's fun, but their main priority is for kids to enjoy it. But even if kids were to watch Madoka, they wouldn't really understand it because the show is meant for people who has already passed the shonen shoujo stage already and can look back to it. All the characters in Madomagi have definite flaws, and they're almost all flaws that you wouldn't really see as flaws until you've passed their age. I'm sure no one can literally relate to the whole idea of, the girls turning into mahou shoujos, but what you can relate to is their sense on reality. Because the character development for all the characters is very thorough, there's something that you can relate to and maybe hate a little bit about each character. When I first watched it, I had a different favorite character than the favorite character that I have now. So every time you watch it, I think that you can see a different perspective on it, whether it's because of you being different from the time you first watch it, or whether because you're noticing something different about every character. Personally, my favorite mahou shoujo anime is Nurse and Angel Ririka SOS, which I think is a very different from Madoka, but it almost has the same concept of the idea of mahou shoujo. If you liked Madomagi or is interested in it after watching this, then you should probably check it out. My favorite character in Madomagi was Kyoko-chan. What was yours? Let us know in the comments below. それでは、バイニャラー